Hey people, so we were sitting here minding our own business. Me and Derpina was watching the new iDubbbz video that just came out. The one talking about the e-whore and all that. Which, by the way, Content Cop is one of the best shows on YouTube. Period. Anyhow, we were watching iDubbbz and the phone rings. Derpina looks at the number kinda confused and answers the phone. Apparently, the esteemed Congressman Sir Stephen Palazzo is having some kind of, like, Partyline phone call or something, and decided that we would be good candidates for audience members. He was taking questions from the listeners, and after about 45 minutes, I was finally given the opportunity to submit a question which he never took, thanks to my being a retard. I personally thought my question was relevant, but apparently he didn't. Anyways, there was a variety of polls that took place throughout the hour-long call, and I believe the answers to these polls are partially how the question askers are screened. I voted on the polls exactly the way that does not represent 99.9% of his constituent, which likely didn't help me getting selected to ask a question. Anyway, here's the question.
Hi, this is Cassidy with Congressman Palazzo's office. Do you have a question for the congressman tonight?
Yeah, do.
All right. Can I get your name?
DD.
What was that?
DD.
Just the two letters?
Yeah, like D and D.
Okay. And what's your question for the congressman, sir?
Well, I got a couple questions, really. Do I got,
Okay.
how much time do I got? Because I got to go hunting later.
Time as in, what do you, until he gets to it?
Yeah.
There's no way for me to really tell. He's trying to answer as absolutely as many as he possibly can.
Well, okay.
I mean, the teletown hall will end, I believe, at 8. I believe at 7.
My question's about Obamacare.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what they're going to... I mean, if they get rid of the Obamacare, I won't get my little blue pills no more.
So you'd like to know what sort of replacement you can expect?
Yeah, when I can get my next bottle.
All right. So I have, as your question, what will be done about Obamacare? What sort of replacement can be expected if it is repealed?
Okay, that.
Is that correct, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I am going to put that in and put you back on the line with the congressman. Just hang tight, and like I said, he's going to be trying to get to as many as he can.
I'll be here.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Sometimes they don't want a handout; they just want a hand up. So thank you for that question.
I don't think they're going to get
Rachel,
me.
Good evening, Rachel. Do you have a question for me?
Yes.
And here are the polls.
Do you support the suspension of refugee entry into the United States until a new system of vetting is put in place by the administration? Press 1 to answer yes. I fully support President Trump's executive order to block all refugees. Press 2 to answer no. I completely disagree with this executive order. Press 3 to answer I agree with some of the order, but not all of it. Press 4 to answer unsure. And I'll repeat the answers. Press 1 to answer yes. I fully support President Trump's executive order to block all refugees. Press 2 to answer no.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Press 3 to answer your response has been registered. Press 4 to answer unsure. Do you believe it should be illegal to destroy the American flag? Press 1 to answer yes. Press 2 to answer no. Press 3 to answer unsure.
I'm gonna go
I'll
with
repeat the question.
2.
Do you believe your response has been registered? Destroy the American flag.
The phone call was actually just under an hour long, and when it became clear that the deadline was approaching and he wasn't going to be able to get to me, I hung up early. Anyhow, first, we need to talk a little bit about this congressman. Who is this guy, and what has he done? Well, let's take a look. Now, first, and most importantly, we did not ask him to call us. I personally have no desire to talk to a politician. She has no desire to talk to a politician. I've never had a desire to. And I've never called them or wrote them letters. We have never indicated in any way, shape, fashion, or form that we had any interest in taking part of his political process. At all. so calling us is a little strange to begin with. And I'm sure it can be written off as a mistake or just a blanket call. I mean, these sort of things happen, right? Well, I don't care. I fucking despise unsolicited calls. Well, anyways, apparently he's at least a little bit racist. He pledged to a whites-only fraternity at USM. It's notoriously hard to get any dirt on fraternities, thanks to tight lips and the campus judicial system being what it is, but Sigma Chi, his college frat, is known to have a history of being white only. And I did read a few articles about how the judicial system keeps a lot of frat-related crimes under wraps and out of the public eye. It's an interesting read on that topic. I'm not going to bother posting links because there are so many. Don't be lazy. If you give a shit about it, go read it yourself. At any rate, the point here is that he was a member of Sigma Chi. Sigma Chi has a history of racism. End of story. Oh, and he has a history opposing bills that would have ships or buildings named in memory of influential black individuals. It's a bit asinine to talk about congressmen taking money from companies to influence politics. Literally every single person in Congress does this, so pointing it out about one individual is kinda pointless. However, he called me, I didn't call him. He started this. So let's take a look on Maplight and see what he's taken in. Looks like from 2002 to 2016, he's taken in almost $3.5 million from contributions. 3,101 contributions. At the end of the day, he doesn't care about electronic cigarettes, but after R.J. Reynolds tossed him a fistful of cash, he cared. He was also paid to care about the jobs of the poor, unfortunate people who may lose a job in the cigarette industry after the surge of quitting thanks to the e-cigarette. He also seems to have a reputation for not showing up to events in which he is supposed to make an appearance. He missed the christening of a ship, a ceremony that he shrugged off. From 2011 to 2017, he managed to miss 3.6% of his votes. This is significantly greater than the 2.2% median among the lifetime records of the current serving representatives. He has only explained 6 of those 152 missed votes. 1 that he voted incorrectly, 2 that he didn't explain, other than to say, I missed the vote, and 3 in which he explained as mechanical difficulty during travel. Now think about that. He's been given $3.5 million, and he can't seem to afford a reliable car. Now keep in mind, voting in Congress is literally his job. Literally. And he has had what amounts to 152 call-ins, where he did not show. What would happen if you skipped work 152 times in 5 years? And apparently, he's had a problem not showing up for drill when he was in the National Guard. Here is a wonderful article about his attendance to the mandatory drill with National Guard. State Representative Beria is asking Mississippi National Guard to investigate the service record of Congressman Stephen Palazzo. Beria confirmed to XX News Now that he sent a letter to the Inspector General of the Mississippi National Guard on Wednesday asking them to look into the allegations that Palazzo didn't fulfill his mandatory duty with the 155th Bravo Company in Poplarville. I think he's actually now retired from the Guard, but at any rate, retired Staff Sergeant Roland Wade came forward citing Palazzo's service record, saying his absence earned the congressman the nickname No-Show Palazzo. Now, I recognize the fact that when politicians start from a young age on the path of politics, they know military service is a huge boon to their record. It looks great on a resume. But we also know when they join the Guard, it's a cop-out. They want the recognition of having served, but they don't want to actually serve. To these people, joining the military and later becoming politicians is not about serving the people, protecting the land, and standing up for morals and what they believe is right. It's about money. Pure and simple. Money. It has practically always been about money. I can't think of a single politician that is in it for the right reasons, and he is no exception. Frankly, I'm tired of talking about the dude. I give literally 0 fucks about him. So here are some pretty telling clips.
I've read where your camp says that Joe is working for a foreign company. Can you comment on what's the name of the foreign company Joe works for? And he walks away. He refuses to answer the question. Hey, Stephen, why won't you answer the question?
What is this?
Why won't you answer the question?
I don't know. Why is she asking?
We want to know why that you're telling people that Joe works for a foreign company. And what's the name of the foreign company he works for? Politics. Politics as usual.
That's right.
So do you think that it's truthful?
With a camera in your face?
You tell me who he works for.
I have no idea.
You have no idea, but yet you're posting on your website and
we don't need to go there about what we're posting and what, because we don't want to go into the postings. We don't want to go into postings.
Well, go ahead. Tell what's on the posting.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
I had the privilege and honor of serving my country in the Persian Gulf War as a part of Desert Shield and Desert Storm.
He wants to boast and brag about his Marine deployment overseas, but he's failed to mention his deployment he had with the Army National Guard. where he actually had my dad write letters to Gene Taylor to have his deployment deferred to Camp Shelby.
The first one is, in your own opinion, what is Islam? And then the second part of the question would be, do you support Islamic centers to have tax-exempt status?
Are these the same people I went overseas to fight?
Where he actually had my dad write letters to Gene Taylor to have his deployment deferred to Camp Shelby.
And on top of that,
I think my answer is pretty clear. And no, there should not be a mosque on Ground Zero. That's an insult to every man that's ever served their country and the people who passed away.
We're also funding and supporting the building of mosques all over the world as a part of our rebuilding and helping Hamas rebuild in Gaza. We're spending lots of money to support the Muslim propagation of Islam and their domination of other countries all over the world. So that's a big issue and a big problem. And most of us only catch the very tip of the iceberg of what's really going on. So I know that's
And we're doing that with taxpayer dollars?
Yes, we are.
He promised to support a bill creating term limits in the House and the Senate.
Going pretty quick. How long have we got?
Hey,
No.
we got the bill until tomorrow morning, so we've got a lot of questions too. That's what
Yes, absolutely. I do believe in a constitutional amendment to put forth that there's term limits in the House and term limits in the Senate.
Any time during your career in the legislature in Mississippi supported a term limits issue or initiative? And would you?
You know, term limits, I think as Americans and Mississippians, we have term limits every 2, 4, and 6 years.
I get in the legislature.
I've never sponsored an amendment. I've never really thought about it.
Being your muscle in Washington, D.C., I will be in events like this. You need me, Paul, Dan, whoever, the committee, y'all want me to come down here? I'm not going to run from the hard questions.
And called up and said, one of them was that I went to in Laurel. I had a friend to die and I had to go to his funeral. Couldn't show up. Collins, he didn't show up. Columbia, I don't think he showed up in Columbia. AARP had a forum, invited Gene Taylor, Palazzo, and Tim. Did Palazzo show up? No. But I knew that he was supposed to be in East Abuchi at a Pure station at Max that afternoon. So I called my son and I asked him, I said, what time? And that was at 2:30. He was supposed to be at the forum at 1:30. And I called my son and I asked him, I said, when is Palazzo supposed to be there? And he said, well, he just got here. He's here now. And I said, thank you. I didn't tell him why or nothing. So? Well, he lied. He is an absolute liar.
But I personally know Stephen and have for about 15 years. He is married to my former stepsister. Currently, we are still fighting my dad's estate over 5 years, and Stephen has constantly interjected himself into that estate, has had it held up in court. I actually have email correspondence between him and the secretary at the bank where my daddy had some loans, where he requested personal loan information from my dad, and it was actually given to him. The purpose for him doing that was he wanted to buy the estate debt or loan Evan the money to pay it off, so he would have an equitable interest in the estate. He has since, in September, the 1st of September, sent me an email again asking were me and my sisters ready to sell, that it had been 5 years and nobody wanted to see it drag out another 5. So I do know, as far as his character, he doesn't have the integrity that he wants people to believe that he does. He wants to boast and brag about his Marine deployment overseas, but he's failed to mention his deployment he had with the Army National Guard. where he actually had my dad write letters to Gene Taylor to have his deployment deferred to Camp Shelby. And this is why he still maintained a full-time position with the Biloxi Housing Authority. And we come to Dad's on the weekends and talk about his ability to draw a full-time check from Biloxi, a full-time active duty check from the National Guard, and he had to show up about 2 days a week just to make an appearance, and got to drive the Biloxi Housing Authority vehicle back and forth to Camp Shelby from the coast. And so these are things that I know personally, that I witnessed personally, that I dealt with on a regular basis. So, I mean, I do, the integrity that he wants to present, it's just not there. Where the house was, that was burned.
What happened to the house?
It was burned in February of last year. I have spoken to the fire marshal in Jackson, who said that local fire officials refused to investigate because, and the son-in-law was some big shot and nobody wanted to get involved. So he did not investigate fires anymore. His name was Ken Caraway. He said he had to come from Jackson to investigate the fire, and it was unquestionably arson. We have still to this day been unable to obtain a copy of the fire report. Just after Stephen announced his candidacy to run, you could call Jackson, and for the longest they would say, "What fire report?" My dad and Gene had a long relationship, and he asked Daddy if he could write letters, call Gene's office, and have Gene write letters to have his deployment deferred to Camp Shelby because he did not want to go back overseas.
Steve did that?
Yes.
And your dad helped him do that?
Yes, my daddy called Gene Taylor's
And Gene Taylor
office.
helped him not go overseas?
Yes, Gene Taylor wrote letters and had Stephen's stuff deployed.
And the moral of this story? Don't fuck with us when we're watching iDubbbz.
Hey, this is Jesus, up in heaven. Just wanted to pop in and remind you to subscribe to Derp's channel. Well, what are you waiting for? Do it. Jesus out.